Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by asking you a simple question. What does real happiness look like to you? For so many people, happiness feels like a moving target, especially after 50. The world tells us that youth, success, or wealth are the keys to joy. But the truth is, happiness isn't found in what we have. It's found in who we become. As we step into the second half of life, we have a choice. We can chase temporary pleasures, or we can build a life of lasting significance. And today I want to share with you a powerful truth. God's design for true happiness doesn't fade with age. It grows deeper, richer, and more fulfilling. Life after 50 is often seen as a time of slowing down, but in reality, it can be a time of rediscovering purpose in a way that brings greater fulfillment than ever before. Many people spend their early years chasing careers, raising families, and handling responsibilities. But once they reach this stage of life, they begin to wonder, what now? The truth is, purpose is not tied to age or productivity. It is not something that disappears when you retire or when your children leave home. In fact, this season of life can be the most purposeful if you embrace the opportunities God has placed before you. Purpose is not just about what you do, it's about why you do it. Many people assume that their purpose was their job, their business, or the role they played in their younger years. But when those things change, they feel lost. The key to real happiness is recognizing that your purpose is not something external. It is something that God has designed within you. Purpose is not about success in the world's eyes. It is about significance in God's plan. You were created for more than just existing or reminiscing about the past. You were created to make a difference. No matter what stage of life you are in. One of the biggest obstacles to happiness after 50 is the belief that the best years are behind you. Many people look back and think, I used to be needed, I used to be important, I used to have energy. But the truth is, your life is not measured by what you used to do. It is measured by what you are still called to do. God does not waste a single season of your life. If you are still here, He still has a plan for you. Your wisdom, experience, and insight are more valuable now than ever before. There are people who need your guidance, your encouragement, and your love. Finding renewed purpose requires a shift in perspective. Instead of looking at what you've lost, look at what you've gained. You have more wisdom than you did in your 20s. You have more clarity about what truly matters. You have learned lessons through victories and struggles that younger generations desperately need to hear. You may not have the same physical energy, but you have something far greater: spiritual depth and emotional strength. The key is to embrace this stage of life as a time to pour into others, to mentor, to serve, and to inspire. Many people after 50 struggle with a sense of worth. When the busyness of life slows down, they feel as though they no longer have a role to play. But your worth is not based on what you do, it is based on who you are in God's eyes. You are not valuable because of a job title or a position. You are valuable because you are a child of God. This means that your life still has incredible meaning, and there are still lives you are meant to touch. Happiness comes not from looking inward and asking, what's left for me, but by looking outward and asking, who can I bless? How can I make a difference? This is also a time to explore new ways to live out your purpose. Maybe you spent years in a corporate career, but now you have the time to mentor young professionals. Maybe you raised children, and now you can pour into the next generation at your church or in your community. Maybe you've always wanted to volunteer, write, teach, or travel for mission work, but never had the chance. This is the season to step into new opportunities that align with the purpose God has placed in your heart. One of the greatest examples of purpose in later years comes from Scripture. Many of the most powerful leaders in the Bible were called later in life. Moses was 80 when God called him to lead the Israelites. Abraham was 75 when he was given the promise that he would become the father of nations. Caleb was 85 when he declared, "Give me this mountain," still ready to take on new challenges. These men did not allow their age to define their calling. They understood that when God has a purpose for your life, He will equip you for it, no matter your stage of life. Your best years are not behind you, they are in front of you, waiting for you to step forward with faith. Happiness after 50 comes when you embrace the truth that your purpose is still alive. You are not here by accident. God has prepared you for this season, and He is not finished with you yet. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces for true happiness, yet it is often overlooked. Many people spend their lives chasing things they think will make them happy: success, wealth, recognition, only to find that these things never truly satisfy. After 50, it is easy to focus on what has been lost rather than what remains. You may feel the weight of aging, missed opportunities, or the changing dynamics of family and career. But happiness is not found in dwelling on what is gone. It is found in appreciating what is still present. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is missing to what is meaningful. One of the greatest obstacles to happiness in this stage of life is comparison. It is easy to look at others who seem to have more health, more success, more time, and feel like you are falling behind. But comparison is the enemy of gratitude. It blinds you to the blessings that are already in your life. The truth is, there will always be someone who appears to have more, but there will also always be someone who has less. The key to happiness is not in having everything. It is in recognizing that what you have is enough. Gratitude turns what you have into more than enough. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a discipline. It requires training your mind to focus on the good even when life is challenging. Some people believe they will be grateful once their situation improves, but the reality is that gratitude is what changes your perspective, not the other way around. It is easy to be thankful when everything is going well, but real gratitude is choosing to be thankful even in the midst of struggles. When you learn to cultivate gratitude daily, you begin to see life differently. You stop waiting for happiness to come from external circumstances and start realizing that happiness is an internal choice. One of the greatest benefits of gratitude is that it changes your outlook on aging. Many people fear getting older because they associate it with decline. But gratitude allows you to see aging as a privilege, not a burden. Every year you have lived is a testimony of God's grace. Every wrinkle tells a story of laughter, love, and lessons learned. Every gray hair is a sign of wisdom gained. There are people who never got the chance to live as long as you have, and yet here you are, still breathing, still growing, still making an impact. That alone is a reason to be grateful. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. After 50, some friendships may fade, children may move away, and loved ones may pass on. It is easy to focus on loneliness or loss, but gratitude reminds you to cherish the relationships you still have. Instead of dwelling on who is no longer in your life, be thankful for the people who are still present. Tell them how much they mean to you. Express appreciation for the small moments, shared laughter, meaningful conversations, simple acts of kindness. Gratitude deepens connections because when people feel appreciated, they feel valued. Another powerful effect of gratitude is that it shifts your focus from what you lack to what you can give. Many people in this stage of life feel like they no longer have much to offer, but gratitude reveals the abundance that is already within you. When you focus on all that you have, your wisdom, your experiences, your resources, you begin to see that you have more than enough to bless others. Gratitude fuels generosity. When you recognize how blessed you are, you naturally want to become a blessing. And the beautiful thing about generosity is that it creates a cycle. When you give, you receive joy in return. Gratitude also improves mental and physical health. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude experience lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. Gratitude shifts your brain's focus from negative thoughts to positive ones. It rewires your thinking to look for the good, even in difficult situations. Physically, gratitude has been linked to better sleep, stronger immune function, and even a longer lifespan. When you live with gratitude, your body responds in positive ways. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate gratitude is through reflection. Take time each day to acknowledge what you are thankful for. It could be as simple as a beautiful sunrise, a warm cup of coffee, or a heartfelt conversation with a friend. Keep a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you are grateful for every day. Over time, you'll begin to notice a shift in your mindset. Instead of waking up thinking about what is wrong, you'll wake up looking for what is right. Another way to practice gratitude is through prayer. When you thank God for what He has done, you remind yourself of His faithfulness. Gratitude strengthens faith because it focuses on God's provision rather than your problems. Even in difficult seasons, there is always something to be thankful for. Every challenge you have faced has brought you to where you are today. Every struggle has shaped you into a stronger, wiser person. Gratitude acknowledges that even in the hardest times, God has been present, guiding you, teaching you, and sustaining you. Relationships are one of the greatest sources of joy in life, yet they are often neglected in the pursuit of success, responsibilities, and personal goals. After 50, many people find themselves at a crossroads when it comes to relationships. Children grow up and move out, friendships change, and for some, retirement leads to a shift in daily interactions. This transition can feel isolating, but it is also an opportunity to invest in meaningful connections that bring true happiness. Many people assume that happiness is found in accomplishments or material possessions, but lasting joy comes from the quality of relationships we build. No amount of success, money, or achievements can replace the warmth of genuine human connection. Studies show that people who have strong relationships live longer, experience less stress, and have a greater sense of fulfillment. Investing in relationships is not just about having company. It is about building a life rich in love, support, and shared experiences. One of the biggest challenges in this stage of life is maintaining and deepening relationships. It is easy to take people for granted, assuming they will always be there. But relationships require intentional effort. After years of busyness, some friendships may have drifted apart, and family bonds may need to be strengthened. This is the time to reach out, reconnect, and rebuild. A simple phone call, a handwritten note, or a heartfelt conversation can reignite relationships that may have been neglected. Marriage and partnerships often go through significant changes after 50. For couples who have spent years raising children or focusing on careers, this can be a time of rediscovery. Without the distractions of work and parenting, there is an opportunity to reconnect on a deeper level. However, if a relationship has been strained, this period can also bring challenges. The key to a strong marriage at this stage is communication, appreciation, and shared experiences. Taking time to express gratitude Trying new activities together and being intentional about spending quality time can bring fresh energy to a long-term relationship. Friendships also play a crucial role in happiness. As life evolves, friendships must be nurtured. Old friends bring a sense of history and familiarity, while new friendships bring fresh perspectives and opportunities for growth. It is important to surround yourself with people who uplift and encourage you. Negative or toxic relationships drain energy, while positive friendships bring joy and support. Being intentional about spending time with friends, whether through regular meetups, shared hobbies, or meaningful conversations, can strengthen these bonds and create lasting happiness. Another important aspect of relationships is the role of community. Many people find a deep sense of purpose and joy through involvement in church groups, volunteer organizations, or social clubs. Being part of a community provides a sense of belonging and an opportunity to give back. Serving others not only strengthens relationships, but also brings personal fulfillment. Acts of kindness, whether big or small, create a ripple effect of positivity that enhances both the giver and the receiver. Family relationships also require attention and care. As children become adults, the parent-child dynamic shifts. It is easy to feel disconnected when children are busy building their own lives, but staying engaged in their world fosters a strong bond. Instead of focusing on how things have changed, embracing the new phase of the relationship allows for deeper, more meaningful interactions. Becoming a mentor, a source of wisdom, and a safe place for guidance can create a lasting impact on children and grandchildren. Forgiveness is another essential part of investing in relationships. Over the years, misunderstandings, conflicts, and disappointments may have created distance in some relationships. Holding on to resentment only robs happiness. Choosing to forgive and seek reconciliation can bring healing and restoration. Letting go of past hurts does not mean forgetting, but it does mean choosing peace over bitterness. Relationships are too valuable to be ruined by unresolved conflicts. Taking the time to truly listen and be present in relationships also makes a significant difference. In today's fast-paced world, many interactions are surface level, but deep and meaningful conversations create stronger connections. Being fully present, listening without distractions, showing empathy, and expressing appreciation makes others feel valued. When people feel heard and understood, relationships flourish. As time passes, relationships may evolve, but the need for connection remains constant. Happiness is not found in isolation. It is found in the love and support of those around you. Choosing to prioritize relationships, nurture connections, and invest in people leads to a life filled with joy, meaning, and fulfillment. As people move past the age of 50, many begin to reflect on their lives and wonder what truly matters. The things that once seemed so important, career achievements, financial success, and personal ambitions, often lose their significance in the grand scheme of life. This is when an eternal perspective becomes essential. Instead of focusing solely on the temporary, the key to true happiness lies in seeing life through the lens of eternity. Understanding that life is not just about the here and now, but about the legacy left behind and the impact made on others brings a deeper sense of fulfillment. Many people reach this stage of life and feel a sense of restlessness. They may ask, is this all there is? This question arises because they have spent decades striving for things that do not last. The world encourages the pursuit of temporary happiness, success, possessions, recognition. But none of these things can provide lasting satisfaction. An eternal perspective shifts the focus from what is fleeting to what is truly meaningful. When life is viewed in light of eternity, priorities change. Instead of asking, what can I gain? The question becomes, what can I give? Instead of seeking personal success, the focus turns to making a difference in the lives of others. One of the greatest dangers in life is living for the temporary. Everything in this world is passing away: money, status, even physical health. The only things that truly last are faith, love, and the impact made on others. When people live with an eternal perspective, they invest in relationships, they serve others, and they focus on things that have lasting value. This does not mean abandoning responsibilities or ignoring personal goals, but it means approaching them with a greater purpose. Work is no longer just about earning a paycheck. It becomes an opportunity to serve and influence others. Success is no longer measured by material gain, but by the lives touched and the love shared. One of the biggest shifts that happens when embracing an eternal perspective is a change in attitude toward challenges. Life is full of difficulties: health struggles, financial hardships, loss of loved ones. But when seen through the lens of eternity, these trials take on new meaning. Instead of viewing suffering as meaningless, it can be seen as a time of growth and refinement. Hardships develop character, deepen faith, and teach important lessons. When struggles are faced with the understanding that they are temporary, they lose their power to steal joy. An eternal perspective also changes how time is spent. When people believe they have unlimited time, they waste it on things that do not matter. But when they recognize that time is a limited gift, they become intentional about how they use it. Instead of spending hours on distractions, they prioritize what truly matters: faith, family, friendships, and making a positive impact. Every moment becomes an opportunity to love, to encourage, and to invest in things that will last beyond a lifetime. Aging is often seen as a negative thing, but when viewed from an eternal perspective, it is a gift. Every year is another opportunity to grow in wisdom, to pour into the lives of others, and to leave a meaningful legacy. Many people fear getting older because they associate it with decline, but in reality, it is a chance to deepen faith and focus on what is truly important. The world measures life by youth and outward beauty, but God measures it by the depth of love, kindness, and faithfulness. Leaving a lasting legacy is one of the most powerful motivations for living with an eternal perspective. People often think of legacy in terms of wealth or accomplishments, but the greatest legacy is the impact made on the lives of others. Teaching, mentoring, and serving create ripples that extend far beyond a single lifetime. A kind word, a helping hand, an act of generosity, these small actions have eternal significance. True success is not in what is accumulated, but in what is given away. The love and wisdom shared with family, friends, and the next generation are the things that will be remembered long after material positions fade. One of the most freeing aspects of living with an eternal perspective is the release of worry and fear. When life is viewed as temporary, every setback feels overwhelming. But when eternity is the focus, there is a sense of peace in knowing that life's difficulties are not the end of the story. Faith provides confidence that no matter what happens, there is a greater purpose at work. Worry is replaced with trust, and fear is replaced with hope. This perspective also encourages people to focus on gratitude rather than regret. Many people in their later years dwell on mistakes, missed opportunities, or things they wish they had done differently. But regret keeps people stuck in the past, unable to enjoy the present. When life is seen in light of eternity, the past is no longer a source of guilt, but a source of wisdom. Every experience, good or bad, has shaped who a person has become. Instead of looking back with regret, an eternal perspective allows for gratitude, recognizing that even mistakes have played a role in growth and purpose. A life focused on eternal values is a life filled with joy, purpose, and deep satisfaction. When the temporary is no longer the priority, true happiness is found in things that never fade: faith, love, and a life well lived in service to others. As you step into this season of life, remember that true happiness is not found in what the world chases: fame, wealth, or fleeting pleasures. It is found in living with purpose, cultivating gratitude, investing in meaningful relationships, and focusing on what truly lasts. The second half of life is not a time to slow down or look back with regret. It is a time to embrace with renewed passion and deeper wisdom. Your best days are not behind you. They are still ahead, waiting for you to live them fully. When you align your heart with what truly matters, when you live with an eternal perspective, and when you pour into others, you will find a joy that does not fade, a joy that brings peace, fulfillment, and a legacy that will outlive you. The key to true happiness after 50 is not in holding on to the past, but in stepping boldly into the future, trusting that the best is yet to come.